Boom, what is going on, y'all? Happy Thursday to everyone. March 19th, 2020. Welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in with me today. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the moments and appreciating the moments that we are given and the lesson that we are being taught in regards to appreciating these moments. And I want to start this thing off with painting a picture with some perspective, and once I present that perspective, we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. So I'm going to refer to sports here for a second because I think that's a very relatable topic with a wide majority of the people that tune into this thing. And when we think about sports, and I'm going to kind of talk about basketball in particular, I want to do this and kind of present the idea in this framework. So let's just think about this for a second. College basketball, March Madness should be going on right now. Conference tournaments should have just wrapped up. And pretty much the highlights of a basketball season will be taking place at this current moment. But it's not. It's not at all. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of the players and the coaches and the administrators and everybody that's involved with these different college basketball teams that would have been playing right now if they would have made it to the NCAA tournament. So, for example, let's just paint it like this. You were a basketball team that kind of had a rocky season, but you just started to surge at the end of the regular season. Hot winning streak, 3, 4, 5 games. Your best players are playing their best ball. Everybody's on the court. You're healthy. Things just seem to be kind of going really, really well for you guys right now. And you're about to head into the conference tournament. You got some great momentum going. You think that you could very much win this tournament and have even more momentum going into the NCAA tournament. Get yourself a high seed, make it to the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and maybe even win a national championship. This is a very real possibility for a bunch of teams out there. And you just get your bid to the conference tournament, riding that high again, number one seed in the tournament, feeling pretty good about yourself. And you guys are potentially going to be leaving tomorrow for that big game. Exciting stuff. So you're going into the building for practice the day before. You get all your stuff on. You go out to the court shooting around before practice starts, and coach brings you up and he says, fellas, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but as of right now, due to things that are outside of our control, it's looking like this conference tournament is not going to happen. And also the NCAA tournament is not going to happen either. And because of that, again, I don't really know how to tell you guys this, especially the seniors. Our season ends right here, right now. Think about that for a second. You're a senior. You're the number one seed in the conference tournament. You might go on to win the national championship. You guys have the talent to do so. And right here, right now, due to things that you cannot control, that you didn't see coming, the door on that season, especially as a senior. So think about the players for a second. Think about the coaches, the team, the support staff, everybody that has put their heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears into the season. And it's over. You can't control it. You can cry as much as you want. You can fight as hard as you want. It's done. It's over. There is nothing that you can do about that. Let's just think about that for a second. And I think we can all relate to that because we kind of see it going on right now. But to really think about that and think about the impact that that has on those people, right? And yes, sports is the metaphor, and I'm kind of using that because, again, I think it's emotionally relevant to a lot of people right now because they look forward to this time of the year. But there's a lot more important things going on outside of just the sporting world in regards to that stuff with the doors being shut on some people's lives. And the point I want to make is this in regards to appreciating the moments. And if those seniors went throughout that season and maybe didn't appreciate the moments they were given, whether it was practice or games or training tables or weights or what have you, because they were just looking forward to all the stuff that could potentially come down the road, do you think they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now? I don't know. I can't answer that question for them. But what I can answer is, again, if they didn't appreciate those moments and give it their all in those moments, it's going to sting that much more when stuff like this is placed into their lives. And I think the same can very much go for us, right? It's really easy to get into the groove of the day-to-day monotony of life, work, taking kids to practice, eating dinner, getting up early, being a little tired, this, that, or the other. These are the exact moments, just like practice and games and training tables in the regular season of a basketball season, right? The things in our life, whether it is work or our kids or our family or our faith, these are the moments, just like those moments, that are making up the bigger moments in the bigger picture of time. And if we don't take the time to sit down and realize what is at our fingertips and how we have to take advantage of those things, we're going to blink one day and 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years are going to pass by. And all those moments that we should have been taking advantage of and should have been appreciating are now gone. And maybe our health isn't there, so I can't do that stuff anymore. Or maybe my kids are gone and I can't do that stuff. My parents are gone. I can't appreciate any more moments. How are we going to feel at that point in time? We could all die tomorrow for all we know. We don't know. We just don't know. Unforeseen events happen every single day that are slammed in our face that we cannot control. So how can we handle that situation? How should we go about navigating that reality? And the answer is that we have to appreciate the moments now and what is right in front of us. Good, bad, happy, or sad. Find the perspective of gratitude to appreciate these moments, whatever they look like. It can certainly be better, but it can always be worse as well. And that's the lesson I think we're being taught right now. This thing is quite literally being shoved in our face. We're being told to stay inside of our houses, can't go to bars, can't go to restaurants, can't go to work. You got to sit inside, do whatever. Can't control that stuff. Everything that we like to do for the most part is being taken away from us. So what are we going to do? I think it's a phenomenal reminder, again, to take a seat, think about our lives, recenter ourselves, double down on our values, double down on our strengths, improve upon ourselves. So when this thing kind of clears, a newfound perspective of appreciating the moments can either be found or be refound, and we can move forward accordingly and live life with so much more purpose and passion and things along those lines. And I think that's the lesson that we should be taking from this whole situation. And if we can take on that lesson head on, confront it, own it, and realize that it's not going to be, some day or 2 or 3. It might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a couple months, what have you. Let's take that lesson and run with it. So then when it is over and all is said and done, we can then apply that lesson and that teaching and better ourselves moving forward. So that's the emphasis that I wanted to make today. And I talked to a few people at work or some boys, some friends, and yes, that's a hard perspective to take on, but I think if we can constantly remind each other of that and fight to find that day in and day out, moment by moment, we're going to be a lot better off, because our life, the grand scheme of life, is quite literally made up of the small moments each and every day that add up to the bigger picture. So if we don't take advantage of the small stuff is the big stuff, because the big stuff is made up of the tiny moments that we have each day. So let's learn to appreciate them. Are we always going to be perfect in that pursuit? Absolutely not. But if we can fight for that perspective, if we can fight for that angle and make it a purpose and a conscious effort every single day, I think we're going to be just fine. And not just fine, but exist. And not just exist, but live purposefully and live in the way that we should be living. Okay, so y'all have a great one. I appreciate you guys. Happy Thursday. Got a phenomenal guest on the show for tomorrow. A dude that I've known for a very long time. Has gone through a lot of tough stuff in his athletic career and has persevered tremendously and is still fighting that battle today. So really excited for you guys to tune in for that one and hear his story and his journey and what he has learned about appreciating his moments along the way, regardless of what those moments look like. Okay, so thank you guys again for tuning in today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for that story to hear my dude, and we'll keep this thing rocking. Okay, y'all have a great one. God bless you all. Coach Koo.